Welcome to another session of Wireless Communication and Networks, Unit 1, Wireless Communications and System Fundamentals, and Modern Wireless Communication Systems. Today we discuss about co-channel interference and system capacity. Co-channel interference and system capacity. Here in this co-channel interference, here what is meant by interference? Interference is nothing but disturbance. Disturbance, that is background. A noise is generated. It is noisy to hear a voice, whatever it may be, and we are getting some slow to the data speed, some interference we are getting. Here, what is meant by co-channel interference and how to calculate system capacity. Here, the frequency reuse. Already we discussed about in previous session what is meant by frequency reuse. Here, the frequency reuse is nothing but the same set of frequencies can be allocated to number of several cells. The same set of frequency allocated to number of several cells, but not adjacent cells is called the frequency reuse. That is, the frequency is reused in somewhere. Whenever the two cells are having same set of frequencies, that is called the co-channel cells. The term is called the co-channel cells. Suppose interference coming between these co-channel cells is called the co-channel interference. Here, we know the different types of noises in communication. That is thermal noise. What is the thermal noise? Thermal noise is generated due to temperature changes in the system. Due to temperature change in the system, we are getting thermal noise. And then short noise is there. Black current is there. Right, we already discussed in optical communication systems, different noises. These noises are we have to lightly overcome, but overcome by using signal to noise ratio increases. But the co-channel interference cannot be combated by simply increasing the carrier power of the transmitter. That is, the co-channel interference must not be depends upon the carrier power of the transmitter in a base station. Suppose high transmitter power in that base station, automatically we are getting some interference at the border of the cells. Right, how to reduce this co-channel interference? That is, we have to maintain physical distance. Maintain distance between co-channel cells. Co-channel cells. That is, we have to maintain some distance between co-channel cells. Suppose, let's we have to assume that, take the example. Already you know the cell layout. Suppose cell layout, all cells are same size. Let's we have to assume that all cells are same size. They transmit same power. And the co-channel interference ratio is independent of transmitter power now. Suppose the cell radius, that is each cell radius is capital R. The co-channel cells distance between two co-channel cells is capital D. Here the relation between R and D is called as a it depends upon the new parameter, that is co-channel reuse ratio, that is capital Q, which is equal to D by R. Here what I mean by D here, the distance between two co-channels, otherwise it is called the frequency reuse distance. You know that D is equal to root 3n into R. In main equation, the frequency reuse distance or co-channel distance, which is equal to root 3n into R. What do we n here? Cluster size. And divided by R, then R should be cancelled. Finally, we are getting root 3n. Root 3n. Here, based upon this co-channel reuse ratio, suppose you know that calculating of cluster size. What is the cluster size calculation? N equal to I square plus Ij plus J square. How to calculate co-channel reuse ratio? Q equal to root 3n. Suppose I equal to 1, J equal to 1. Then calculate cluster size N equal to, we are getting 3. Co-channel reuse ratio 3. And I equal to 1, J equal to 2. We are getting cluster size is 7. Co-channel reuse ratio is 4.58. When I equal to 2, J equal to 2, we are getting cluster size n equal to 12 and co-channel release ratio is equal to 6 and I equal to 1, j equal to 3, the cluster size n equal to 13, co-channel release ratio is 6.24. All of it see this tabular column. What is the cluster size and what is the co-channel release ratio Q? That is, whenever the co-channel release ratio Q is larger capacity, since the cluster size is very small, where Q improves the transmission quality due to small level of co-channel interference. Co-channel interference here from this, right? Right here, before going to this one, first of all, we have to know see this one. Now I'm designed a cell layout. See this one. What is the cluster size here? N equal to 7. That's why we are allocating 7 frequency F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. After this one, apply frequency reuse. I'm getting F1 here. Again, F1 we are getting the same frequency is F1 we are getting. Right here, nothing but see this one. I'm giving marking for this one. Right, see this one from the center cell, we are getting 6 co-channel cells. 6 co-channel cells. Here, what do we mean a co-channel? Whenever two same frequencies are used, different cells is the co-channel. These are the co-channel cells. Here from the center cell, we are getting 6 co-channel cells. This is in the first tier concept. What is the first tier? From the center cell, again we are getting same frequency in different tier region, first tier. Again go for second tier, likewise the same frequency we are getting. Here the distance between, suppose we have to use insert here, I think, but here this is the radius of a cell. This is the radius of a cell. Capital R is the radius of a cell. Here the distance between two cells, two co-channel cells. The distance between two co-channel cells is nothing but D. Capital D is the frequency reuse distance or co-channel distance between two co-channel cells. You know the formula, that is capital D, which is equal to insert equation, that is root 3n into R is the original formula for frequency reuse distance. To calculate Q value, which is equal to D by R, you are supposed to substitute D value here, R are calculated. Finally, we are getting root 3n. Root 3n. Right. Suppose we have to increase the power from this base station. Like suppose here this one. Now I am eliminating above figure to like this. Like this, I am eliminating. That is, I am taking only co-channel cells instead of all cells. Why? Because we are discussing co-channel interference, right? That's why I'm taking only co-channel cells. Right. Here the co-channel cells, which here we are using, that is here. See this one. We had to assume that the co-channel cells, the distance between these two co-channels like this. Likewise, for all co-channels, right? Here we have to maintain some distance. That is the distance between these two is D. This is also D. D is the distance between two co-channel cells. Suppose we have to increase the transmitter power. Increase the transmitter power. That is, suppose we have I'm increasing the transmitter power here of the center cell. Now now the coverage radius is increases. The coverage radius is increases. Like suppose right. This is the coverage radius. Now insert right. Suppose I am now it is unable to draw, right? Right. Suppose now I am increasing the transmitter power of the center cell, then automatically it covers this region totally. Suddenly increases. Whenever the transmitter power increases, the coverage radius increases. Suppose this cell also increases transmitter power. Again, it is also coverage radius is increased. Then automatically from this point, the two cells are coincide together. Then we are getting co-channel interference. Here from this cell, how many number of co-channel interference we are getting? From the center cell, we are getting 6. Co-channel interference, it is possible. From 6 co-channels, interference are possible, right? Here, based upon this concept, see this one. Let I naught be the number of co-channel interfering cells. From above example, how many number of co-channel interfering? 6. Then the signal to noise ratio can be the mobile received the mobile. Then it is called the S by I, which is equal to S by I naught. That is summation of I equal to 1 to I naught. Capital I. What is S here? The desired signal transmitter from the base station. That is transmitter power increases. At that time we are getting 6 interfering cells. That is I value see here 1 to 6 from this 3.5 equation. I equal to 1 to 6 I of that is 6 co-channel interface we are getting. Here from this equation, now we have to assume that the propagation measurement. Here what is mean propagation? The propagation is nothing but we have to transmit a power from transmitter to receiver. Here the average receiver signal strength at any point in the area of in the coverage cell. Here the distance between transmitter receiver is, we have to assume the d, small d. Then average received power at the receiver, which is equal to PR, which is equal to P naught into d by d naught power of minus n. Suppose we have to convert in terms of dB or dBm, that is decibels in terms of meters. PR of dBm, which is equal to P naught dBm minus 10 n log of d by d naught. Here we are getting minus, that is the exponent is minus n. Here what is my n here? It is a path loss exponent. Path loss exponent, this is the fixed value, so we are getting in my tabular column, path loss exponent. Here what is meant by P naught? P naught is nothing but the power received at a close reference point from the far field region. And D naught is the small distance between transmitter to receiver. Nothing but here in this above equation 3.6 and 3.7, small d is nothing but the distance between original transmitter receiver distance, that is base station to your mobile, and d naught is nothing but a small distance between transmitter to receiver, nothing but the mobile is moving towards to the base station, and P naught is the power received for the close interference reference point. Right. Here from this equation, you know the basic, that is basic received power equation. From this S, that is signal transmitter power, S is almost proportional to capital R. And interference is depends upon the distance between the two cells. Distance between the two cells, that is, here see this one. Yes, the signal transmitter power, it depends upon the radius, the radius of a cell. That is, when our transmitter increases, the coverage radius also increases. And interference is depends upon the frequency reduced distance between two cells. That's why I am taking this equation. S is proportional to R and I is proportional to Di, and we have to assume I have to add path loss exponent. Here to simplify above equation 8, that is S by I, which is equal to D by R power n by I naught, which is equal to root 3n divided by I naught power n. Right, this is about the simple calculation of signal to noise ratio. Actually, the signal to noise ratio must and should have to maintain 18 dB at the time of calculation of Coulson interference. I think you go through the textbooks, you know how to calculate signal to noise ratio. It is very easy to calculate signal to noise ratio. Whenever the signal to noise ratio is greater than 18 dB, no problems occurs. Whenever we are getting less than 18 dB, the co-channel interference present. Suppose we had to assume that, see this one, how to calculate signal to noise ratio from basic previous equations. First of all, we have to check this one. You see this one, we have to assume n equal to 7. That is, the cluster size is equal to 7. Then we are getting 6 co-channels from the center cell. Capital R is the radius of each cell. Suppose now the mobile is here. X is the mobile. This X is the mobile is now here in the center cell. Then whenever the mobile is center, at that time we are getting almost D. But whenever the mobile is here border, that's why the distance is D, D plus R, D plus R, D, D minus, like this we are getting, not exact D in some points. Why? Because the mobile is not at the center of the cell. It is border of the center cell. That's why we are getting different distances. Here, based upon these different distances, here we have to calculate from the 7 cell cluster size. We are getting co-channel interference cells by D, D plus R, D minus R likewise. Suppose see this one. Here the path loss exponent, we have to assume that n equal to 4. Here this path loss exponent is depends upon the quality of the voice quality. Nothing but the voice quality is 1. It is very poor. The voice quality is 5. N equal to 5. It is good, excellent. Likewise, but in between we are taking n equal to 4. That's why S by I equal S by I, which is equal to, see this one, from this equation, from this 3.8 equation, R value R and denominator D value. Based upon that, R power minus 4 divided by 2 times of D minus R we are getting, 2 times of D plus R we are getting, 2 times of D. To simplify this equation, common R in the equation, then automatically we are getting S by I, which is equal to 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 power minus 4 plus 2 into Q plus 1 power minus 4 plus 2 into Q power minus 4. Here, substitute Q value. Suppose whenever n equal to 7, Q value we are getting almost 4.6. At that time, we are getting S by I value equal to 49.56. It had to convert into dB. It is we are getting 17 dB. It is very less than the 18 dB. Then we are getting this is we are getting co-channel interference. Co-channel interference. Right. This is about co-channel interference and how to calculate capacity of a system. Do you have any query? Type your query in a chat box. Thank you very much for attending today's session.